The era of the budget Mac is officially over. For years, the Mac Mini was the computer you bought when you couldn't afford a Mac Studio or didn't want the screen of an iMac. It was the entry point, the safe choice, the compromise that still let you say you were part of the Mac ecosystem. Students bought it. Small offices bought it. Developers tucked it under their desks and forgot about it. But as we sit here in 2026, the leaks coming out of Apple's supply chain are painting a very different picture. The Mac Mini M5 isn't just a refresh. It is a hostile takeover of the desktop market. Internal Apple documents codenamed $J873 suggest that Apple has stopped treating the Mini as a secondary device. Instead, they have turned it into a concentrated 5-inch block of pure, unfiltered performance that is designed to make even the Mac Studio nervous. Think about the transition we just saw from the M2 to the M4. Each generation felt faster, more efficient, more refined. The jump to 3-nanometer architecture was already a statement. Apple wasn't just iterating, it was redefining what a compact desktop could do. Now we're stepping into the second generation of 3-nanometer design, specifically TSMC's enhanced N3P process. This isn't just about squeezing more transistors onto a chip. It's about how those transistors communicate, how efficiently data flows between cores, and how power is distributed under sustained workloads. The M5 isn't chasing benchmarks for marketing slides. It's building a new performance ceiling for small form factor desktops. The headline feature is the Neural Accelerator redesign. For the first time, Apple is integrating AI processing directly into the GPU cores, not just isolating it within the neural engine. That architectural shift changes everything. Instead of shuttling AI workloads back and forth between dedicated units, the GPU can now participate directly in machine learning tasks. The result is a rumored 3.5x jump in AI performance compared to the M4 generation. This isn't a niche upgrade. If you're editing 8K footage with real-time object tracking, running generative fill in high-resolution photography, compiling code assisted by AI copilots, or building on-device large language models, this is transformative. AI is no longer an accessory feature. It becomes part of the graphics pipeline itself. Let's talk about the design, because it might be the most controversial part of the M5 story. Apple already shrunk the Mac Mini with the M4 redesign, bringing it down to a compact 5-inch footprint that felt almost impossibly small for what it delivered. Many assumed the M5 would simply reuse that shell and call it a day. But leaks suggest a hidden thermal rear texture inside the same exterior dimensions. The outside looks familiar. The inside is entirely re-engineered. The internal vented foot system is reportedly being overhauled to improve airflow from the bottom up. Apple engineers have allegedly redesigned the heat spreader and vapor chamber system to support sustained loads at higher clock speeds. The M5 chip runs hotter and faster than previous generations, and instead of throttling under pressure, Apple appears determined to let it breathe. There are whispers of a 3D stacked chip, layout similar to what high-end gaming hardware manufacturers use, separating CPU and GPU thermal planes to reduce localized heat buildup. If true, this means the M5 Mac Mini can sustain peak performance for extended rendering sessions, heavy simulations, or multi-hour export jobs without dipping into thermal throttling. For creators, that's not just convenient. It's critical. The base M5 configuration is rumored to feature a 10-core CPU with a heavier emphasis on performance cores rather than efficiency cores. We're looking at a potential 20% jump in multi-threaded performance over the M4, but that statistic alone doesn't capture the full picture. What matters more is consistency. A machine that can maintain that performance for hours without ramping fans to distracting levels changes the workflow experience. Imagine recording a podcast in the same room as your desktop and never hearing the fans spike during a background export. Imagine compiling large software projects while running multiple virtual machines and still having responsive UI performance. But the real disruption begins with the Pro tier. Reports indicate that the M5 Pro and M5 Max may share the same physical die, differentiated through binning to improve yields and reduce manufacturing complexity. If Apple pulls this off, It means the Pro model could inherit massive memory bandwidth figures previously reserved for machines costing well above $2,000. We're talking about up to 400 gigabytes per second of unified memory bandwidth in a device that sits in the palm of your hand. That kind of bandwidth changes who this machine is for. Professional photographers dealing with massive raw libraries, music producers layering hundreds of high-resolution audio tracks, 3D artists working with complex scenes, and developers compiling enormous codebases no longer need to default to a Mac studio. The wall between compact desktop and professional workstation begins to crumble. When a 5-inch box can handle multi-stream 8K editing, real-time color grading, and AI-assisted effects without choking, the definition of entry-level disappears. Connectivity is another battlefield. The arrival of Thunderbolt 5 across the Pro lineup is a significant shift. With transfer speeds up to 120 gigabits per second, external storage arrays, high-resolution capture devices, and multi-display setups become seamless. Running 666K displays at 120 Hz from a device this small feels almost absurd. Yet that's the promise being whispered in the supply chain. This isn't just a home office companion. This is a workstation that could comfortably sit in a post-production studio, a software lab, or a live audio control room. What makes this evolution so fascinating is the strategic positioning. Historically, the Mac Mini existed in the shadow of larger machines. The Mac Studio was the powerhouse. The iMac was the all-in-one statement piece. The Mini was the practical option. With the M5, that hierarchy starts to blur. If performance margins shrink between the Mini and the Studio, buyers will begin asking uncomfortable questions. Why pay for a larger enclosure if the smaller one sustains similar output? Why dedicate extra desk space when you can mount this machine behind a monitor and achieve nearly identical throughput? There's also a philosophical shift at play. Apple seems to be doubling down on unified memory as a defining advantage. By allowing CPU, GPU, and neural cores to access the same memory pool at extreme bandwidth, the M5 architecture reduces bottlenecks that plague traditional PC setups. Instead of juggling separate VRAM and system RAM pools, workflows become more fluid. Large AI models, high-resolution textures, and heavy data sets coexist without redundant duplication. Efficiency isn't just about power draw anymore. It's about eliminating friction. And speaking of power draw, the efficiency gains from TSMC's enhanced N3P process could make the M5 shockingly economical under typical loads. Higher peak performance does not necessarily mean higher sustained consumption. If Apple maintains its pattern of aggressive performance per watt improvements, the M5 Mac Mini might outperform many traditional desktops while drawing a fraction of the energy. For small businesses and home studios, that translates to quieter rooms, lower heat output, and reduced electricity costs over time. The psychological impact of this machine shouldn't be underestimated either. When a compact desktop becomes capable of replacing bulky towers, it changes expectations. Students entering creative fields won't see Budget Mac as a stepping stone. They'll see the Mini as a legitimate professional platform. Startups building AI products can deploy racks of compact Mac Minis instead of larger workstations. Even enterprise environments might reconsider how they structure their hardware fleets. Of course, price will determine how aggressive this takeover truly becomes. If Apple positions the base M5 Mini at a similar entry price as previous generations while dramatically increasing capability, it could redefine value in the desktop market. If the Pro configurations undercut the Mac Studio by a meaningful margin while offering comparable bandwidth and port selection, the Studio might need to evolve upward to justify its existence. In many ways, the Mac Mini M5 represents the culmination of Apple Silicon's long-term vision. When Apple first transitioned away from Intel, skeptics questioned whether compact machines could ever match traditional workstations. Each generation has chipped away at that doubt. The M1 proved viability. The M2 refined it. The M3 and M4 escalated it. The M5 feels like the moment where the experiment becomes dominance. This is no longer the Mac you buy because it's the cheapest way into macOS. This is the Mac you buy because it makes practical sense, because it delivers absurd performance density, because it doesn't compromise. A 5-inch square of aluminum that can anchor a professional workflow used to sound like marketing fantasy. Now it sounds like inevitability. If these leaks hold true, 2026 may be remembered as the year the compact desktop stopped being an afterthought and became the center of the conversation. The Mac Mini M5 isn't chasing relevance, it's demanding it. And for the rest of the desktop industry, that should be more than a little unsettling.